Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Triple N Talk Show. I'm Dr. NIKAM. We are delighted you could join us. We have a fascinating program today. First, we're going to be talking to my friends from Foundation for India Studies. And during second half of the program, we are going to be talking about cricket. Where, as you know, India won the match by just one run in the last ball of the game, and which was the most fascinating game. And we're going to be talking about game and predictions and all these things. But let's first talk about our program, which is Foundation for India Studies. We are coming to you live, as I said, coming to you live on YouTube under our channel NIKAM, and we would like you to download our app for Android or Apple devices so that you can follow us around the clock. We would also like you to sign up for our YouTube channel, and we also have a Facebook page, which is known as the NIKAM Network, where we keep you abreast of what's happening in and around the Houston area and from around the globe. So we would like you to please visit our Facebook page and like it. And we have been doing this program for almost 3 years. And if you would like to be a guest on our program, please do give us a call. Our number is 281-745-4161. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the button is right below there. Okay, let's talk about the Foundation for India Studies. My two special guests are Parul Shah and
Ponnada Narayana.
Ponnada.
Parul Fernandez and
Parul Fernandez. What did I say?
you said Parul Shah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Parul Fernandez and Ponnada Narayana.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Triple N Talk Show. And Parul, let's start off with you. Give us a little bit about the background for Foundation for India Studies.
Well, the Foundation for India Studies started way back in 2006, where Krishna Vavilala, the chairperson and the founder of the organization, had this idea of providing the Americans with what India is and how the language can be used by the grandchildren of the people who are here. And he found that universities did not teach Hindi, and they taught Spanish and French. Well, what was wrong with Hindi? There was nothing wrong with Hindi. So we decided that, well, this is something that needs to go up. And at the same time, India's star was rising in the political field, and businesses were coming to America too. And so we decided that it was just the right time to start.
Yeah.
And Krishnaji started that with the idea of helping Americans as well as the Indo-Americans to know about India and know the language.
That's interesting. Ponnada, let me ask you, what is the mission of Foundation for India Studies?
The basic mission is to promote collaboration or cultural understanding between India and US. This is done through a number of events.
Yeah.
And one of the events we are going to talk a little bit about today is the Indo-American Oral History Project. An idea of this project is to let the first generation immigrants to talk in their voices, to narrate in their own voice about what their experience have been and how things are changing or not changing, and basically promote a good cultural sort of understanding between these two countries.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Triple N Talk Show. I'm Dr. NIKAM, and we are coming to you live on YouTube and also Google Plus. Okay, Parul, let's talk about, he mentioned something about the Oral History Project. Can you expand on that Oral History Project?
Yeah, it is a kind of a legacy project,
Yeah.
a legacy project with the goal of adding the real life triumphs and tragedies of Indo-Americans who came here 30, 40, 50 years ago. Some came in a boat and some flew here. But what did they do? How did they settle down? How did they achieve? Did they get discrimination here? Did they not get discriminated here?
Mm-hmm.
What is their story? So the main important thing is to have their story told through them themselves by interviewing them, and by once they are interviewed, they are free to tell what they have done, their achievement. Plus, it is Houston has developed in through the times, and they have contributed. The Indo-Americans have contributed to the development of Houston. And what is their contribution, and how did they contribute? That's one of the main legacy projects.
So it's like their own life experience
Yeah.
explained in their own. It's like a what I would say is like a video biography.
Yes, it
In
is a
some
video.
sense, yes.
Yeah. It's a video autobiography kind of a thing. At the
Yeah.
same time, it is a lesson to learn for the grandchildren, for those who are doing research, for the historians, for people like those who want to know in time.
Yeah.
It's like a time capsule in some ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Since you're mentioning about the Indian experience, I don't want to plug in. Our NNN media has been in existence for 3 years, and we have captured the Indian experience here in the Houston area, and we have more than 800 videos accenting our experience here in the Houston area. Please do visit our YouTube channel, which is NIKAM, and you can see the days of our lives as it has unfolded
Oh, okay.
in living colors.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Narayan, maybe how many people so far have we interviewed, and what are the main things we have learned from these studies?
There are so far 50 folks have been interviewed. And the main thing, as Parul indicated, was that they basically tell us or told us how they came to this country
Yeah.
and how they progressed and what are the opportunities this country gave to them, and what are their contributions, not only just to Houston,
Yeah.
but to America in general.
I see. That's fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the Foundation for India Studies, started here in Houston, and as he mentioned, they have been interviewing more than 50 people from the first generation Indians who have settled here in the Houston area, and having them narrate their own personal experiences throughout their travel in time in this country. You are watching the Triple N Talk Show. I'm Dr. Nikam. And okay, let's give out your contact information if somebody wants to get in touch with you, and if they have someone they would like to be interviewed, or if somebody wants to volunteer.
Yeah, there are two ways of doing that. They can contact Krishna Vavilala,
Yeah.
or they can contact me, P.A. Narayana, 1946 at gmail.com, or they can call me at 281-804-4912. They can also contact
Krishna Vavilala.
Krishna Vavilala.
This is the number.
at 713-795-5169. And his Gmail address is, I think,
It's K. Vavilala.
kvavilala1@gmail.com.
Okay, let's talk about some of the founding members, who worked pretty hard for this foundation for India Studies. Parul, you've been there from the beginning, I
Yes,
imagine.
yes. I guess I can be counted as one of the founding members.
Yeah,
Krishna Vavilala and I sat in La Madeleine
yeah,
out in the coffee shop and discussed how best we can do this. And the first thing we thought of was introducing Hindi as in the University of Houston. And we met with Vice Chancellor Gouge at that time, and Dr. Strickland, Dr. Dean Antel, and we decided to raise funds. We raised funds so that the first Hindi language class could start, and we could have that going. And we were successful because we also raised 30,000 for scholarships for students. And we did all those things in the beginning just to get the people to get to understand about India. And we had Jain studies also. We had Hindi classes also at that time. And there was Dr. Michelle Verma also who participated in that. So we have started with just the language issue, and now we are more a project oriented organization in which every project that we take uh, speeches, leadership speeches, and then we take leaders when they come here. We have them talk to people about India. We want people to know about India, but more on an academic kind of level. And this oral history project is another way of getting the academics to be interested in the research part of it also. And so we have projects that we take, and we are trying to complete projects. And this is one of the latest projects that we have.
Because University of Texas in Austin has a pretty strong Hindi program and all this. Is your project connected with any universities?
We started it at University of Houston, but Dr. Kate went on to Dr. Renu Katur came. She has very bravely taken it up and pursued it, and now it's a full-fledged department thing. So we let it go to the best hands, you know.
That's true, yeah. I think they have a major program in India studies.
Yeah.
Besides just languages.
Yeah, besides languages. Yeah. We do study abroad also. When I was at University of Houston, we did study abroad. Dr. Saleha Kumbhawala was also there right from the beginning. She take a group of students of businesses and introduced them to KPR and all those companies there in India. And so there was a lot of movement in that. But since it is best in the hands of the academic people, the university people, we just helped in starting the whole program, and then we let it go.
But at the same time, you're also continuing with this legacy project you talked about, that is doing oral history studies. Narayan, what's the ultimate goal for the Foundation for India Studies?
As I said, the ultimate aim is basically to promote cultural awareness or understanding with the two countries. This is done through a number of projects, as Parul indicated. The oral history project turns out to be the signature project. We also have the distinguished lecture series, where distinguished people are invited, both from India and from within US. They make the presentations. And we also participate in Martin Luther King march, because there are so many similarities between Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. It's interesting that we recently got the award from Martin Luther King
Foundation. Because we participated, I think, for a number of years from now on.
We are actually some sort of conduit, if you will, in promoting the peaceful coexistence, culture, whatever you want to call it.
That's fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Triple N Talk Show. I'm Dr. NIKAM, and we are talking about the Foundation for India Studies, which was founded here in Houston, capturing the experience of the first generation Indians. And my special guest are Parul Fernandez. I think I got it right this time.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
And Ponnada, Narayan. And okay, let's talk about, give us a walkthrough scenario of how a oral history interview or a video recording is done.
The process.
Those who may be interested in getting coming on the project.
See, we are trying to get those who have come about 30 years ago, or at least 25 years ago, who started life here differently, or they came from another city in US and then came to Houston. They have to go to the website, which is www.foundationforindiastudies.com. And then there they can register for if they want to be interviewed, or the sons can register for their parents, you know, and they can register for them. And then when we get their information, we let them know that we have a schedule with Houston Community College, and we use their studios for the interviewing process. And so we have to put a schedule together for them. When we get an interviewer, sometimes there are people from the journalist world who can come and interview Jawahar Malhotra and those all. Sometimes it is academic people who come and interview. And so there are different interviewers for different people. once we interview them, they also have to at that time fill up a form, and there is some the transcription fees that we have to take from them of $125 that we take, and if they want to give us donation, we are very happy to get that. But that's the minimum that we charge them for it. And this function that we are going to have on the 26th is going to be showcasing, because it is a combination, it's a partnership with Houston Public Library and Houston Community College. Okay, so on 26th we are showcasing the 50 that have already been interviewed, and that's the signature event that he's
we'll come to that in a minute. So these video recordings are all permanently stored in the Houston Public Library.
Yes,
So if they want to access, just Google the name, and if you put Houston Public Library,
you'll
be able to go straight to the
interviews.
Interviews. And you said this is also transcribed. The whole
dialogue is
transcription. The whole interview.
Whole interview, you can hear who said what did the interviewer ask questions. Everything is there.
Like a court.
Transcription, yes.
I mean,
no, it's a transcription. You cannot say I did not say that. You did say that.
It's much more pleasant, I can tell you that.
I know. As a doctor, I have depositions, and sometimes as expert witness, we have to read those depositions. Like 400 pages, they bring like 5-6 bundles. By the time you finish reading these 2,000 pages, you pretty much know, even without reading that, what is the weight of a case as to, the merits which way it's supposed to go. But nonetheless, you have to read every line in order to get it.
I once mentioned that sometimes the interviewers come with their wives, and their wives also give a very nice input into the whole thing. Like I remember reading one of the transcriptions, and Lakshman Das's wife was told that when her husband told her that she has to wash clothes and she has to sweep the floors and she has to clean the house in America, she said, no, I want to go back to India because I don't want to do that. But she said ultimately she did do it, and she did love it after that. So those are some nice, personal touches that come out of people.
That's fascinating. You mentioned that when those who come from a low income background like me, whatever we saw in America was a luxury. But if you come from a 6 servants house or something like that in India, it's going to be a culture shock.
It's a different story.
You got to do your own cooking and cooking. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Triple N Talk Show. We are talking about the Foundation for India Studies, and this is coming to you live on YouTube and also Google Plus. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the button is right below there. And tell your friends to join us. We have more than 800 videos accenting our experience here in the Houston area, and we have close to 950 subscribers. So I'm hoping we can reach 1,000 subscribers. That's from all over the world, actually, not just Houston area. And also visit our Facebook page, which is NIKAM Network, where we keep you abreast of what's happening in and around Houston and from around the world. We are talking about the Foundation for India Studies, and my special guests are Parul Fernandez and Ponnada Narayana. I'm from South. I don't know. so much. This one. Okay, so you do these interviews, and these are video recorded and processed and permanently stored in the library. So anybody in the world can access from India or anywhere else.
Yes.
Okay, so what are your plans in terms of how many people you want to interview, and where do you go from there, and how do people get in touch with you if they maybe you can give out some contact numbers?
I think the idea is to interview as many people as possible. The only thing we want them to be here for at least 20-30 years, as Parul said. And pretty much that is a requirement. I mean, as she said, you can go to the website and register, and that's it. So in the beginning,
your contact phone number.
Yes, you can reach Vavilala, Krishna Vavilala, 713-795-5169, or you can reach me at 281-804-4912. Let me repeat the numbers again: 713-795-5169 or 281-804-4912. Or you can also reach us through email. Again, I'll repeat the email addresses: kvavilala1@gmail.com or panarayana let me repeat it: panarayana 1946 @gmail.com.
Okay, Parul, you mentioned something about that they have to give a nominal fee for transcriptions, transcribing the programs and the dialogues and all this. How is this whole project supported?
We are supported by personal donations by people, and people who have been generously thoughtful about how difficult it is to do something like this. Know for sure they give a little more, and it's all on personal donations. And we have not written a grant, or we have not done anything for this project. We know that we are doing the right thing, and so that is why people have been very supportive. Yeah,
I think I might add a little bit. For example, some of the interviewees were so impressed with the whole project. On their own, they write checks for 500,000, whatever the amount may be. So it's basically, I think now we are trying to write a small grant to Texas Heritage Foundation. That money, it's not really much, but every dollar helps.
yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want one of your family members to be interviewed for Foundation for India Studies Oral History Project, get in touch with Krishna Vavilala or Parul Fernandez or Narayan, and please do open your hearts and also wallets and
your wallet.
support the Foundation for India Studies. I learned this from the politicians. They said, if you don't ask, I want your vote.
Yeah.
People don't
Give it. So
he
we'll
never asked me. I said, what am I going to give?
So let's have a special message to the onlookers,
let's do it.
to the onlookers and listeners to this program, that we would appreciate donations from you as much, because we still have another 50 interviewees to take place,
or more.
You know, we want to continue this project. HPL is very happy with it. The HCC is also collaborating with us, and we would like this project to go on, because there are more than 100 people in Houston, Indo-Americans in Houston, who have done a lot to the Houston, as well as contributed a lot, have sacrificed a lot. And these are their honest stories, and that is why we feel that that should not stop. It should be like a continuous project. It should not be something that should stop. So please give more than what you can think of.
One of the things I want to add here is that whatever money you donate goes towards the project. There are no administrative costs associated. None of us actually get any
employee salaries or bonuses for the directors.
We don't even use this money to get a cup of coffee at the meetings. So please, this is really a unique sort of organization where we give our own time and don't expect anything in return. Our only goal basically is to document the history of the early immigrants to this country, particularly in Houston.
Okay, let's talk about, you have a website. What can people find on your website? Can they donate on your website?
Yes, they can. They can donate on the website, yes.
So what kind of information they can find on your website?
They can find what we have done so far in all the different projects that we have done. That information is there. Then they have the information of this project, the oral history project. And they can find information of the Indo-American, the Indo-American Day that we are celebrating, Heritage Day that we are celebrating, and they are free to come. This is a free event. Everybody can come there and see what we are doing. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a Triple N talk show. I'm Dr. Nick Nikam. This is coming to you from Houston and maybe Sugarland. Also, live video stream to YouTube and also Google Plus on our channels, Nick Nikam. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and also Google Plus. And we would also like you to visit our Facebook page, Nick Nikam Network, and like our page so we keep you abreast of what's happening in and around the globe. As a matter of fact, in less than 1 minute after India won against Bangladesh, our report card was already on our NIKAM Network Facebook page, and telling people to come and listen to me and my guests, which will be our next program. Okay, let's talk about your project, the program, the gala that is coming up this Saturday. Let's talk about that before we conclude.
There are two things we are celebrating at the March 26th gala. One is the 10th anniversary of FIS, or Foundation for India Studies, and completion of 50 oral interviews. This would be held in historic Julia Edison building, which is part of Houston Public Library. If nothing else, you really need to come and see that building. It's a fantastic building. It almost reminds you of the French Renaissance. And there are.
What's the physical address of this?
It's 550 McKinney Street, Houston, Texas. It's in downtown Texas. The parking is free, and there are refreshments, light refreshments, and number of important people like Stephen Kleinberg would be coming. We are also anticipating or expecting some of the elected public officials. And the Consul General of India, Mr. Harish Parvataneni, will also be there. And there's entertainment. And you can also see the samples of the video clips of all the interviews we have done so far. And you can have a lot of fun. You can get a lot of information. And more importantly, it's free.
And the parking is on Lamar Street. You know, the 500 McKinney is where the building is. The 550 is where the building is. But the parking is not from 550. You have to go to Lamar Street, which is the next parallel street. And there's a ramp which goes down into the public library where free parking is available.
So what time to what time?
The program starts at 1 o'clock and ends at 4 o'clock. But we want all the guests to come at 12:30 so that we can start the registration.
I see.
And also I want to add one more thing to what Parul said. The parking on the streets is free that particular day if you can find a parking. So parking really should not be a problem. There will be a number of volunteers who would actually direct you to where to park, and then also direct you to the main building where this ceremony is going to be held.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Triple N talk show. I'm Dr. Nick Nikam, and my special guests have been Parul Fernandez and Ponnada Narayan, and we are talking about the Foundation for India Studies. Let's give out your contact phone numbers one more time.
I think I'm the event chair, so you can call me at 281-804-4912. Let me repeat that number again. 281-804-4912. Or you can also reach me via email at panarayana1946@gmail.com.
Okay,
thank you.
It's been a
nice pleasure meeting
you. And Narayan, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be back, and then we're going to be talking about World T20 Series cricket. The cricket fever is picking up.